I seriously can't tell if this is doing anything or not. I don't see any. I know they were connected to the internet, right? Yeah, we're still connected to the internet. That doesn't look like. I have no idea if this is doing a thing or not, so I'm gonna go check. a little table. All right, so today that's better. Today the car she doesn't want to start so awful much because, let's see if we can get a better shot of it here. Probably not. It's awfully. That is the neutral safety switch, and over time, the dielectric grease that's inside there has decided it doesn't want to keep out water and stuff. And what's happened is that it's this is not a good angle either. That's the best angle, but it's also a very, very unstable surface. Sorry, team, I'm trying here. Wait a second, I got an idea. Raise, and then, no, that's also an unstable surface. That's better. Hopefully people can actually see what I'm doing here. Anyway, over time, the connector, which you may or may not be able to see here, it gets schmutz inside of it, and the dielectric grease that's inside the connector doesn't keep out the water, and the connectors corrode, and ultimately this connector should be replaced. But I'm just trying to eke some more life out of it because honestly, the original connector here will never be as good as the replacement. It just won't be. But what we're going to try to do now is clean up the connector with a combination of white vinegar and baking soda to neutralize vinegar afterward, and then we'll try to blow out as much of the schmutz that's in here as possible. What I really need is I need to be able to clean off the little terminals that are here, because they're we need metal on metal connection, and I'm not gonna get that so easily in this way. The switch itself goes down into the transmission. I'm loath to remove it at the moment because, yikes, what a pain to get it back in. That's definitely a thing that I am going to do over a long enough timeline, but that, unless I can't get this thing started today, is less likely. So we'll start off with some vinegar here and a toothbrush, and just trying to get as much of this vinegar down in the hole as possible, because vinegar loves to eat corrosion, loves to eat everything actually. What I need is I need to be able to get down deep into these holes here so that we can clean off what's here. That is actually sinking down in there, and that's good. We definitely want the vinegar going inside. I mean, we don't want it staying there, and we'll have to use the baking soda to neutralize it. It's actually looking better already. When I started, it was a fuzzy green. Now it's looking more like the copper that it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm still not happy about this. I still need to be able to get the connector clean here. Maybe what I'll end up doing is just really highly saturating the connector with vinegar and sliding it on the switch itself. I'm just trying to make the connection better. This is a Band-Aid. This is a big Band-Aid. Because right now I'm just trying to get her running so I can drive her. I mean, I've driven her. It's spring now. Today's what, April 2nd? I've driven her about half of a dozen times since the weather turned better, and haven't had a problem until today. Which is funny because I drove her this morning. I took my kid to work, started it up, drove across town, dropped him off. Glad I didn't stop anywhere, because I pulled back into the driveway and I was gonna try something, an experiment. And what happened was a no start fault. That's always fun. That's always tons of fun. I am gonna go get a toothpick because I need to, this pin right here, it looks really especially disgusting. And if I can get in there. Big part of the problem is the dielectric grease that's in here. It's doing exactly as it's supposed to do, but right now I don't want it to actually do that. The two pins that are the most problematic are these two here on the end. The purple or red, I'm not exactly sure which color it is now because it's faded over the years, and this yellow wire. They're the ones that are the big ones that need to be making the best connection. Let's see here. All right. I'm going to try an experiment now. I'm going to put the key in the ignition and I'm going to try to pop the trunk. Interesting note. The trunk solenoid is on the same circuit as the neutral safety switch. So if I can get the trunk to pop, that means that I've actually got a better electrical connection. And if it doesn't, it means that, you know, it didn't work. So let's see if that worked. That would be a yes. It worked. I'm not going to start it, not this particular moment, especially with the camera just sort of hanging there like that, because what'll happen is, yeah, bad things will occur. Okay, so now I've got a lot of vinegar in the harness connector. I've got this baking soda here, but what I should have done in the house was add water to it so that it's hydrolyzed, because right now, yeah, it's not going to do what I want it to do. So, well, I mean, if anybody is actually watching this, I'll be back. Okay. So, this is baking soda water. It's literally water and baking soda, and that will neutralize the vinegar that is now in this connector. Because if I were to leave it in there, it would eat the connector. And we don't want that. We really, really don't want that. Now again, this is a Band-Aid at best. This is definitely not a repair. I am just trying to get this thing going so that I can have a little fun kind of deal. Huh, usually it's sizzling. Hold on. I can barely hear it bubbling, but it's definitely bubbling. Well, shoot. Well, while I'm waiting for that to work its way down inside the connector, and what can we do next? Because I honestly thought this was going to take a little bit longer than it did to clean up and get her started. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy. I don't want to sit there and do generalized maintenance chores for extended periods of time. I'd rather actually have some fun. Let's take a look here. Our EGR valve is wow, it's broken. I mean, if I pull too hard on this, it's going to come apart. Let's not do that. I do have a replacement, but it will take time and effort to undo the old one and put a new one on. Not that it's currently being used. Unfortunately, the pipe, it goes there isn't one. I'm gonna have to pop off the intake here at some point in the near future. I have a replacement off of another engine, the one from Francine's donor, and the goal is to do the old switcheroo, where I'm gonna take this one off, but the other one is gonna be all set and ready to hop on, and I'll have completely torn it down to bare metal and repaint it, because it's gross. I mean, it works. That's the important thing, right? It physically functions. My exhaust definitely needs more than a little help. I replaced the exhaust sensor, the oxygen sensor. I replaced it, and because of the corrosion in the pipes, it doesn't make electrical contact with the rest of the engine, and because it's electrically isolated, the O2 sensor isn't actually sending any data. It just sort of thinks it's not even there. So as a really, really poor workaround, I took a length of electrical wire from an extension cord and looped it around, and it worked for a little while. But I don't know if you can see that, but it's disgusting. I mean, this is not making electrical contact anymore. So while I'm in here waiting for that to neutralize, I'm gonna cut this off and then strip it back another 4 inches and loop it around again. It's a Band-Aid. Ultimately, what I need to do is I need to take the exhaust down completely, clean all the connections and all the gaskets in between each individual pipe so that it can work again properly. I have had these wire strippers since forever. I got them, if memory serves me correctly, it was one of the two places. It was either from a Cummins tool truck a million years ago, or it was a catalog sale from J.C. Whitney. I can't remember which. Come on. Come off. Did it break? It did break, so why isn't it pulling off? Okay, the insulation's completely broken. It's just... she's being cranky about actually pulling off. Trying to do this without breaking the wire if possible. I mean, I can get more wire, I'd just rather not. Ah, I see what's happened. The insulation has melted so much that it melted into the wire on the upper parts. I could splice it back more, but since the wire itself should be fine, I'd rather not. I can only do this a certain number of times before I have to ultimately replace the entire length of wire. I mean, that's a longer timeline, really. But if I can avoid it, I think I'm going to have no choice in the matter, because this is not wire. Come off. Now, let's put that aside for the moment. Let's take another look at our connector and put a little bit more baking soda down there. Just trying to work that in. As much as we can. We want that vinegar neutralized. The pins, at the moment at least, they look pretty good. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to cut this. I didn't want to cut it more than I had to, but I guess I have to. I can't bear the wire. I have no idea how much you people can see. Probably not a lot, unfortunately. I'm trying to remember where I got this wire from. I think it was a computer power cord. There we go. That's what we want. And I managed to do it without actually breaking any of the strands. That's good. To be perfectly honest, I don't even know if this is working. I mean, I know that it's providing a ground, but I don't know if the O2 sensor's actually properly working with us. But, you know, one tries, right? That's all I can do. So, I'll loop this around and tie it off. I am not happy about this, not even a little bit. And at some point in the future, I will there. And that's not even good. It really isn't good. I could get my multimeter out and see if it's actually connected to the thing. I could do that, but I've been driving it around all this time without it, so I'm not terribly worried. Alright, so next I've got some brake parts cleaner, which this isn't exactly what I want to use to clean this out, but that's what we got. Thank you for not living in California, so I won't get cancer. No, it doesn't actually work like that, folks. Don't worry. Alright, let's take a look here. Well, with the exception of one of these pins, the one on the very end, this is actually a significant improvement. And I want to see what I can do about that last pin. I should actually look up the pinout for this because I don't know what these other pins do. Like I said, these wires right here are for the neutral safety switch. All these other wires, not a clue. I need a pick would do it. And I just happen to have one just... Yeah, if I can do this without stabbing myself, that'd be great. And if I can do this without destroying the connection, too, that would also be great. They make these little tiny files for being able to shove into these connectors, so that you can clean them up a lot better. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those. There. Actually, what I'm gonna go get a toothpick because it's just rough enough to be able to probably get off some of that stuff without causing an issue. There we go, one toothpick later. Now, what would be funny, haha, would be to accidentally break off the toothpick in this hole and then have to figure out how to fish the end out. That would be so funny. I would laugh and laugh for 1,000 years. Ha ha ha. That's actually a vast improvement over where we started. It was green when I started picking at it with the, well, with the pick. And I can definitely see copper now. Unfortunately, none of this copper is actually shiny. It's just... identifiable as actual copper. I have no idea what a lot of these controls in this thing do. I should probably find out. It looks like I could do camera and camera, but it doesn't seem to want to do camera and camera, so I don't know. Oh yeah, what I should also try to do is get this. Actually, you know what? No, we're gonna forgo that. It's just probably gonna be stupid, but let's reconnect you. Let's get the stuff off of the car, and then we'll attempt to start it, which it probably should start because it started a moment ago. And here, let's even move this out of the way. Yalla. Voila. Alright. Let's turn her over. I'm 99% certain that it's going to start without an issue now because it just did that. But to be fair, early this morning it started fine, and then, 20 minutes later it wouldn't. So, who knows? See, this is exactly what I mean. No, that did not want to start. Did not want. So what happened? Because it started a few minutes ago, and now it's not. Try again. Okay, she clearly started, but the connector is definitely less than happy. Also, I think it's slightly out of time. Not sure how, but it doesn't like to start. It gets really grumbly. So I think we're going to try to adjust that. Temperature, I need to find my paper clip, which is hiding. Find the paper clip, but I do have a ton of wire. I just tore off the other wire. Scoot here. Not that way. That way. good news, I found my paper clip, and she started up just fine. Maybe my timing isn't as off as I thought it was. Unfortunately, my timing light's not here. It's in storage, so I gotta figure out what to do. Maybe I'll just try going by ear. I mean, that always works, right? Anyway, I think I'm gonna end this thing now just because, well, the original intent of the video is to tear the thing apart and didn't exactly do that. So anyway, Arthur's Pontiac Fiero blog. I'm still here, still got the Fiero, driving it around, having some fun. Upcoming videos for sure. This is Ginger. I got Francine coming up this summer.